Of course, the president set to give that State of the Union address tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Reports do indicate that he may do a little bit more finger-pointing this time than reaching across the aisle. Congressman Adam Kinzinger is a Republican from Illinois. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks.
So everyone's talking about the president's tone. There were some Republicans who were not happy with the tone of the inaugural address, and we're getting some previews about how the president may sound tonight. And Glenn Thrush at Politico says that his sources say the president will pay lip service to bipartisanship, but don't expect anything like the call for peaceful collaboration that defined his first address to a joint session of Congress in 2009.
It's just more of the same. I mean, and this is what's sad. I think it's an opportunity. The president has an amazing opportunity to say big things, to call Republicans and Democrats together, to say, look, both sides are going to have to accept things they don't want in order to solve the huge problems in this country. And frankly, for the future generations, I mean, that's something that's missing here is a discussion of what happens next with the next generation of Americans. And unfortunately, you know, to descend back into partisan rhetoric when you have such an amazing opportunity here. I sat, 30 yards from the president in the inauguration, and I really did expect him to talk about those big opportunities, something large, and didn't hear it. I just heard some rhetoric, and again, tonight, I hope if his goal is right now to do this partisan speech, I hope he changes his mind today, rewrites his speech, and comes to work with the Republicans.
But there are issues really on both sides of the aisle. You look at what's happening with the audience tonight with a Republican congressman from Texas bringing Ted Nugent, the rocker and a gun rights advocate who's had some really harsh things to say about it. Does that set the right tone? Well,
look, I mean, that's, each congressman gets to bring one person with them. I'm bringing my sister tonight. In my mind, it's this, though. We have really big issues, a $16.5 trillion debt that our youth are going to have to pay for. We've got an energy crisis in this country. We have a jobs crisis in this country. There's a lot that needs to be done, a real opportunity to come together. And trust me, the tone out here has to change. The personal has to go away, and we have to work.
But don't you think bringing Ted Nugent can be seen as a little provocative?
Well, look, bringing Ted, again, he has his choice. I'm not going to criticize him on the air. But I will say, in the big picture, this is a huge deal tonight, a huge opportunity for both sides to come together. I'm a member of a group called No Labels, which brings Republicans and Democrats together to say, let's find common ground solutions. Because, frankly, our kids and grandkids, which I don't have yet, but I will someday, I hope, are relying on us.
How's the No Labels thing going so far? Are you encouraged, discouraged? It's been going on for a few months now.
No, I'm very encouraged. It's an opportunity, again, for both sides to come together and have these discussions that need to happen. And so, no budget, no pay. This was an idea out of No Labels. And I think this is the beginning of shifting the tone in Washington from the personal to actually getting some things done.
You are on the Foreign Affairs Committee.
I am.
Overnight, we had news that there's an explosion in North Korea, some kind of nuclear test, we suspect. What are your feelings about that?
It's scary. Once again, we're at a point in sequester of hollowing out our military. We have to have a real discussion tonight about how to avert that, but have real cuts. And this is pretty scary, so let's
be vigilant. It's interesting. Congressman Matt Cartwright, a Democrat, brought up the sequester also on the issue of North Korea.
Yeah, I think this is important. It's important for us to work together to avert the cuts to the military, but have real cuts because right now our spending's out of control.
All right, Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, Republican, thank you for joining us
today.
Nice to see you. Have fun tonight.
Yeah.
You can watch the President's State of the Union address tonight live on CNN. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the highlights, all the best bits and analysis tomorrow morning on Early Start, live here from Washington, beginning at 5 a.m.